Okay, sige. Hi everyone. This is Teacher Bam and this is our Philippine Politics and Governance class. Ayan, welcome. So, ilan na lang tayo? We have 5 people here. Sige, so hi Kian, Ashley, Jean, Simon, and Shai. Ayan. So, our class is a very small class, and I actually really like this kind of format because it means that I get to know more of you, right? And we get to participate more and collaborate more with each other. Ayan. So, Philippine Politics and Governance is just a class for GAS and ABM. And since this is a small class, we'll have activities that are meant for a small class as well. Hopefully, yung ating skills na makukuha dito after this class are things like communication skills, critical thinking skills, collaboration skills, are much more integrated since it's a very small class compared to before. Ayan. So, before we start with our topic, let's just get a basic introduction of what politics is, right, as a class. And later on, I'll ask your opinions about what politics is. And I know that you have a lot of opinions. And since you're a small class, I will have a lot of fun with you, right, with regards to your opinions. So please speak in English or Filipino, whatever is more comfortable with you. Yung ating point lang dito is to know, right, what your ideas are regarding the specific topic as well as concept. Ayan. Is that fine? Okay,
Yes
so we
po.
have, okay, yes, ayan. Sige, so introduction, actually, yung background ko talaga as a person and as a student, I actually studied EB Development Studies. So this course has units for economics, political science, as well as sociology. And with regards to these topics, what I really like most is political science, syempre, and history. And that's why our approach to the political science subject could be also historical. My professor always used to say when I was in college na before class, class know the biases, not sure. So for me, the viewpoint is that I'm a democratic socialist. If you want to know more about what socialism is, try to try it out. Um, this one who has the same viewpoint as you have different views. Totally find that look at for me. So with regards to the support because senior is
Ma'am?
stable for a bit. Anyways, these are the two politicians that are something that I support or someone that I support. Yung importante na malaman yung mga biases so that makikita natin na yung perspektibo ng tao always limitado. So obviously, with regards to my political biases, yung kanilang mga agenda, yung kanilang mga pinaprioritize, eto din yung pinaprioritize ko. So these are things like healthcare, education, lessening the cost of living of people and so on. And the rest, I deem not as important regarding these issues. Obviously, there are people that have different priorities compared to mine, but yon, dapat alamin nyo din yung bias ng teacher nyo at ng ibang students nyo because it shows what they are lacking as well in terms of their political analysis. Ayan. Para mas maging constructive, 'di ba, yung ating diskusyon. And the subject would focus on development theory as well as political and socio-economic research as well, with regards to how our subject would be informed. Okay, so the course methodology, this would be rooted in contemporary issues. Ibig sabihin, yung i-discuss natin ay usually manggagaling kung ano nangyayari ngayon. Diba? Yung mga issues na nangyayari sa present na panahon. Aside from that, gagamitin natin yung works ng mga Filipino na political scientists. Right? Kasi kapag banyaga yung gagamitin natin, yung konteksto usually nawawala yan. So we're gonna try to make the context localized. as well, because this allows us to better understand what is happening in our political system, right? Because these are the experts that have studied the political system as well. Aside from that, and for this one, I really want your cooperation. I want it to be collaborative as well as partly student directed, in the sense that the topics as well as the contemporary issues that we will discuss would also be informed by the things that you think are important. So kapag for example may nakikita tayo na topic, sabihin natin power, anong gusto niyo malaman about sa power, right? Or kung anong klaseng political issue yung gusto niyo i-analyze using the lens of power. I suggest that you give that question to me in advance so that pwede tayong mag-research and so on. And actually, yung ating mga topics or mga konsepto na iyon, na-inform ng personal natin na interest, right? Kasi when we do that, we learn a little bit better compared to kapag sa libro lang tayo nakabase. Obviously, gagamitin natin yung aklat, pero at the same time, dapat ginagamit din natin to sa konteksto sa present, right? And then, yung ating performance task is just a portfolio. So, a portfolio is the collection of all the activities as well as the papers that you will be passing in my class. With regards to the papers or the activities that you will pass, generally, 4 lang yung ating ipapasa. So, that's one performance task every 2 weeks, right? Because we have 8 weeks all in all for this particular semester. And I think this is a little bit better for you guys since you have a lot of subjects and then you also have other performance tasks in other subjects. And syempre, let's not forget, you also have your own personal needs to attend to. Right? So, do we agree that we try to make this class as participative as possible and as student-centered as possible?
Yes, Chair.
Okay, sige. Hindi daw marinig siya eh. Is the audio okay na?
Yes po. Naglipat ako
Okay,
sa
sige.
phone. Sorry po.
Okay, sige. Okay, it's fine. Kapag medyo pangit yung audio, last time yung grade 12, sabi nila, "Sure, wala kami naintindihan. Parang nag-rap ka." Ganun yung sinabi nila sa akin. Pero after na ng meeting nila sinabi, so wala na. Ayan, just inform me because if the audio is not good, then we're not gonna get anything from this class at all. Ayan, don't be shy. Wow. Don't be shy or don't get about the audio. It's just a technical issue. Ayan, so just chat with me if you have any questions. Ayan. So, eto yung mga Filipino political scientists natin na makakasalamuhan natin. We have Ronald Mendoza, we have Lydia Yuhose, we have Teresa Tadem, and so on. And yan, marami yan sila afterwards. Okay, so this is our task, or week 1 task. We have self-paced learning last time. Andun na yung ating activities sa CLE. And today we're gonna have an introductory lesson on politics. All of your activities will be based on the performance task and the activities that you will have on your book, right? On Wednesday, meron din tayong self-paced activities. This is based on activity 1.2, Know Thy Power. So, sa activity na yan, meron tayong 3 na pictures and then you are gonna analyze kung anong klaseng power yung pinapakita sa pictures na ito. Pero obviously, makikita nyo na medyo mahirap talaga na activity to. You have to make your own justification. You have to think deeply kasi hindi obvious kung ano yung nangyayari or kailangan nyo pang isipin kung ano talaga yung pamamalakad or kung ano yung relationship ng mga pictures na iyon sa power. So ayun, yun yung challenge. And then I'm very sure that we all of us will come with different answers, right? And on Thursday, 1 p.m. as well, guys. Right? 1 p.m. ulit ha. Magkakaroon tayo ng oral recitations based on that activity. So we're gonna discuss the topic power specifically and use that activity that you did in that discussion. So I will be asking for your own input and then the input of your classmates, and then you are gonna discuss, disagree, agree, construct, right? Or add on the discussions of others as well. Yeah. The purpose of this is so that we get used to this kind of process because this is something that is very important once you get to college. If medyo nahihiya, ayun, just swallow the embarrassment or hiya. Kapag mali yung sagot or hindi masyadong satisfied yung teacher sa sagot, there's always another chance or yung ibang classmates natin. So try. Try lang. Ayun. And eventually you will get it. No shame about that. Yan. When I was in college, I was really shy to raise my hand and so on. Pero I got over it as well. So the more exposure that you have with regards to this, the easier it gets as time passes by. And then we also have Friday, position paper output. This is the same activity as on page 2 to 3 of your book, and the guidelines are also posted in the CLE. And so I'm just gonna show you ito yung ating concept map. The concept map gives you a guide of what type of concepts would be discussed in class, and at the same time, kung saang pages makikita yung definitions nila as well as yung kanilang mga descriptions, right? So, lahat yan arena or politics as arena, politics as government process, and so on. All of these would be discussed in class. And yung topic natin sa Thursday specifically is this one, power as decision making. You can find this on page 19 of your book. Agenda setting is page 20. Preference shaping is page 21. Okay, yung ating i-discuss ngayon is eto, politics as exclusive, systematic, inclusive, magulo. Ayan, titingnan natin kung bakit ang raming definitions. Okay, sige. So, what I want you to do for now is to give ano yung mga ideas niyo associated with politics? Ano yung mga, okay, kapag politics, ano yung personal na definition nyo or yung attitudes nyo or yung emotions nyo about politics?
Everything is political po, I guess.
Is this Shy? Ayun, everything is political. Okay, for Shy, can you give an example why you say that, Shy?
Ano po, doon mo kasi makikita yung stance mo or yung di ko masabi po.
Sige lang, okay lang. Yung
Kasi yung decision
lumalabas
making,
ngayon sa mind mo. Oh,
decision
okay.
making po
So,
and yung paniniwala mo.
Ayun. So I think I could go support that. Yung beliefs mo, yung decisions mo, I think what Shai is trying to say are all politically determined in a sense, 'di ba? Yung kung ano yung attitudes mo sa life, lahat 'yon may influence ng politika. Okay, sige. Sino dito yung may ibang feelings? Ayan, at mamaya natin yan i-discuss. Pero thank you so much, Shai. How about Krista?
Yes, sure.
Ano yung ating paningin sa politics? And usually, ano yung in-associate natin sa politics?
Para sa akin po is kapag politics yung naririnig is ng hindi lahat totoo or minsan totoo, minsan hindi. Ayun, sure.
Okay, good. Ayun. Oo, sige. So, meron siyang aspeto, 'di ba, ng idea of fake news tsaka yung credible news. And the idea that politics is involved with manipulation, right? Kasi yun, 'di ba? What is true and what is false and using information to manipulate the behavior of people. Sige, how about the rest? Sino gusto mag-volunteer?
Same lang naman po kami
Ano ba?
ng stand ni Shai po, that everything is political and politics is universal po.
Okay, ayun. Simon also says that politics is universal and that everything is political. Right? Ayun. Sige, so another one. Sino dito yung may negative na attitudes with regards to the word politics? They already say, ay, kadire, or disgusting. I don't want to be involved with that. Or boring, ganon. Noriel, how about you?
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about politics? Sa word na politics lang.
Iba akong hate ranger.
yun talaga na inas kita, sabi ko, ayun, may guess na ako. Bakit mo hate yung politics, Noriel?
Kapag sa TV may itsura ay amat dang ginambalay bukong tuod at amatay
Ayun.
tuod.
Ayan. So, di ba, yung idea ng trust and then yung idea ng manipulation, again, lumalabas dito. And di ba, yung idea ng ganun, politics is something of a dirty game, right? We don't know what's actually happening. Parang puppet show at tayo yung puppets. Di ba, may mga ganung idea. And these are really good ideas. What you were saying, politics is everything. Politics is something that is manipulative and is dirty and is something that could not be seen. Right? Ayun. So, actually, guys, ganun din yung pag-define and then yung perceptions ng libro natin sa politics. If you started reading your politics na book, the ideas that you have said just now are actually some of the associations that the book said that politics is. Pero sige, punta muna tayo sa isang definition na medyo encompassing or malaki and then ina-narrow natin dyan given sa definitions na binigay nyo or sa ideas na binigay nyo. So when we're talking about politics, one way in which to view politics is that it is the process and activity through which power is gained and lost. Yan. Process and activity through which power is gained and lost. And later on, we will look at power and how everything, every transaction, every behavior, usually, hindi natin alam, pero may power yan na dynamics. And then, yun yung sinasabi niya, di ba? Yung politics could be manifest and visible, nakikita. So, for example, yung mga politicians sa TV, nakikita natin. Or it could be hidden as well as latent. Yung hindi natin nakikita. Diba? The idea of a smoke screen. May sa likod. Diba? May manipulation sa likod, may lies sa likod. Kung ano yung sinasabi sa harap, ay iba sa likod. Or yung sa picture, diba? Nakita natin dalawa. Yung sa shaking hands, nakita na transaction. It's an agreement. Ibig sabihin, there's a deal happening. And that is manifest and visible. Right? Pero sa likod, actually, they are being manipulated. Right? So that is hidden as well as latent. And all of these ideas, kung ano yung nakikita at kung ano yung sa likod, these are parts of politics. Yan, makikita natin later. Okay, sige. Who agrees with this? If power is the ability of someone to influence actions, beliefs, and behaviors of others, then identify if you agree or disagree with the statement. Who agrees? When I give someone power over me, I always lose. When I give someone power over me, I always lose. Sino dito nagsasabi yes? Who here says no? I disagree with the statement. Kapag binibigyan ko ng power yung isang tao or institution over me, I always lose. Wala akong nag-gain or hindi ako nagbe-benefit. Okay, sige, let's have si Ashley. Ashley, what do you think about this? Yes or no? Do you agree or disagree with this? Ashley. Krisha, how about Krisha?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, bakit?
Siguro, sir.
No?
Ay, wait lang. Yes, sir. Kaya, pero pag imabay ko na, sir, pag someone give overpower, try, basi always lang mo maasa si mo, kaya malus lang mo.
Okay, so
Ato lang.
kapag okay. Sino yung nagde-disagree kay Krista? Na hindi ibig sabihin na kapag binibigyan natin ng power or magpapa-influence tayo ng behavior from other people or from institutions, naglo-lose tayo. Okay, sige. Medyo nahihiya sila. Ayan. Yun yung dapat i-discuss actually natin yung power na ito kasi dito makikita kung gaano yung idea na yung politics kahit saan lang. If we talk about politics, the primary concept that we need to think about is also power. So actually guys, if we really take this statement seriously, makikita natin, 'di ba, we're actually losing every time because we give the power over ourselves, over our behaviors, over our thoughts, over our actions from different or galing sa different na mga grupo or institusyon. So, for example, when you were a kid, right, wala kayong power talaga. And kailangan na wala kayong power or talagang you're made into someone without power because you have to rely on the people, the parents, to sort of govern your behavior, to provide your needs for you, to dictate, right, what things you should think about and believe in when you are little. And this is for your own good. But when you grow up a bit older, then you gain reason, you gain consciousness, and so on. And you get to choose, right, which things would have power over you or not. So, for example, the school is another such institution that has power over you. It allows, or you allow it. I don't know if you allow it, pero ayan. Ngayon, for example, nagkaklase tayo. The school has an influence over your behavior. You have to get up at 8 a.m. You have to submit your assignments and so on. So that's one way in which an institution has power over you. But that act is also political. You also have the government. So you follow the laws, you make sure that you pay your taxes and so on. And these are all political. Right? Bakit kayo or bakit tayo nagko-consent? Or why are we allowing ourselves to be dictated by these institutions? Si Simon, sige, bakit natin ina-allow yung school, yung government, yung family natin to influence our behavior and even to the point that our behavior becomes dictated?
Because we unknowingly allow them to po.
Okay, ayun, that's one, right? Later on, we will think about this. We unknowingly allow them to. Diba? If you remember our discussion on society, culture, and politics, yung iba, hindi natin alam, or because the norms are always there, even before we were born, we accept it as a given. That's one, right? Another thing is, aside from we unknowingly allow them to, we could actually benefit, right? Or it is rational for us to accept or to give power to them. So may nakukuha tayo. Because we are a bit self-interested, ayan, ito yung mga nakukuha natin, diba? Ayan, ito yung mga yung mga behaviors na nag-influence sa atin. For example, sa workplace, it influences our behavior kasi, diba, nag-apply tayo sa trabaho, nagpapakyut sa boss para magkaroon ng sweldo. You also have sa government, nagbabayad ng buwis, pagtupad sa batas. Yung sa school, pagising ng 8 a.m., pagpasa ng assignment. All of these are activities that we do not want to do. Right? Tama ba? We do not want to do this. Most of us does not want to do this. Yeah, correct, right? Ayan. So just be honest. It's not natural, or it's not, if we had another choice, right, we would not pay taxes. If we can, we would not follow the laws if it does not benefit us. We would not wake up at 8 a.m. or we would not pass our assignments. We just do other things, or we're not going to get a job and so on because we could find other things to do. But because these institutions have power over us, then diba, we have to do all of these things kasi may nakukuha tayo. Yung power nila relies on what they distribute to us. Yung mga scarce values na tinatawag, and that's where politics would happen. This is the situation in which whatever or something that we get from the market, diba, from the jobs, from the government, from the school, is given to us because we comply with them. So for example, sa gobyerno, ano yung nakukuha tayo pag nagbabayad tayo ng batas at nagbabayad tayo ng buwis at saka tumutupad tayo ng batas? Krisha? Krisha?
Yes, sir. Ano yung tanong mo, sir?
Ano yung nakukuha natin sa gobyerno kapag nagbabayad tayo ng buwis or sinusunod natin yung batas? Why do we pay taxes? Or why do we follow the laws, Chris? It's hard to think no about that. Ayun, pero 'di ba, nagbabayad tayo ng batas so that we get services like roads, we get public education, we get public healthcare, and not only us, but also other people. Uh, Even if you do not want to do it, once you reason it out, diba, nakikita natin that if institutions work properly, then they could deliver these kinds of services as well. Tumutupad tayo ng batas because we expect other people to also follow the law. And what the law does is to prevent people from harming each other. So we follow the laws because we do not want other people to harm us as well. And the government is the institution that tries to guarantee that. Aside from that, nagbabayad tayo ng buwis because we have the idea that we could benefit from this paying of taxes and that other people could benefit as well. Ba? Tapos sa school, we wake up at 8 a.m., we pass our assignments in the expectations that we're gonna get high grades, that we're gonna get skills that we need for the workplace. And we go look for jobs, and then we try to make a good impression on our boss and so on, so that we could get money. And so all of these are certain sacrifices that we need to do, or we need these things to influence our behaviors kasi gusto nating may makuha tayo. Diba? We're trying to find values. Yan. Ito yung mga bagay, yung nagusto natin. Pera. Friendship. Friendship. Diba kasi nagpapa-influence tayo sa friends natin? Humanity, order, respect, common ground protection, even love, right? Sa family, for example, we allow our sisters or brothers to for example, nagkakasakit yung kapatid, ayan, kailangan mag-take care. It's a kind of surrendering of power already, 'di ba? Na ay may power ka sa akin. Because the state of your sickness actually influenced my behavior towards you. And these are all rooted in the idea of reason, 'di ba? Yung reason lang or yung reason kung bakit tayo gumagawa ng dito is because nakakapag-isip tayo. There's always a higher good, for example, which is humanity, that we could refer to. Kaya ginagawa natin to. Or goals that are more long-term, hindi lang short-term. Kasi kapag puro short-term yung goals natin, this would not make sense at all to us. So merong ganung dimension palagi. And then you also have the idea of care. We also have the idea of responsibility to ourselves and to other people. And dito, umiiral yung idea ng politics as well. So the good part, this is the good part. But obviously, we also have the bad parts of politics. So some of the people get away with paying taxes or not following the law, right? And the power that they have is politicized as well. Makikita natin mamaya yan sa mga examples natin. Lalo na sa pag-siya, na sa Pilipinas sa mga Filipinos so that we could become more immune as a society and as a people to COVID-19. Okay? Pero sometimes, what happens to people whom society has no power over or has too much power in society? Obviously, they lose a sense of reason within bounds. They lose their sense of responsibility to other people. They also do not care as much, right, with regards to other people. So sometimes limitations and boundaries are also good, right? Ayan, so eto yung tatlo na to. Isa is a real character, a real historical figure, diba? Si Adolf Hitler. And the two are fictional characters. Sino dito nakapanood ng Star Wars? Or who knows the person on the right side? Medyo matanda na si teacher. Okay, si Thanos tama. Si Thanos sa left side. Eto siguro yung mas kilala nyo. Pero si Thanos, he's the character who wanted to wipe... ano yung ginawa niya? Si Thanos.
Yung ball na natanan niya stone chair.
And then, ano yung gagawin niya sana sa stone? What was his main objective in getting the stones?
Eliminate half of the population of the universe po.
Yeah, eliminate half of the population of the universe. nobody can stop him. Again, because he's the most powerful person in the universe during that particular time. Diba? All of the Avengers wanted to stop Thanos. And once you get to that kind of level of power, nothing can stop you at all. Unless, 'di ba, mag-Avengers Assemble tayo ulit. So ayun nga, yung nangyari kay Hitler, Avengers Assemble din 'yon. Yung mga bansa, France, US, Britain and so on, all of these countries decided to fight Nazism and so on, and we actually managed to do so. Ngayon, may revival ulit, pero ganun talaga yung buhay. You also have Darth Vader, one of the most iconic characters, and then his quest for power to save his, actually yung unang goal, diba, is to save his dead wife. But then eventually he becomes corrupted. Diba? Usually corruption is associated with having a lot of power because it gives you the idea that nawawala na yung sense of responsibility mo, the restrictions that other people have over you, yung power ng ibang tao sa'yo. So always, merong dimension talaga tayo kung saan kinakailangan may power yung ibang tao, ibang institutions over us. And the negotiation of how much power we allow these other people to have over us and how much power we should have and we should have so that we could influence these institutions and these other people is the realm of politics. Yun yung ating idea ng politics, di ba? Kaya nga, tama yung sinasabi ni na Simon, ni na Shai kanina, in the sense na lahat political. Kasi nga, lahat ng decisions natin, paniniwala, these are areas, these are battlegrounds, di ba? Kung saan yung mga tao from the past, even in the present, actually form these ideas. And this could always be contested. Kapag may contest, kapag may labanan, kung ano yung mas influential, and so on, palaging may politika yan. Okay, so, di ba, syempre, may mga sitwasyon dapat na may power talaga dito. So, sila, yung workplace natin, yung school, yung government, may power over us. Pero what politics wants to give is also the idea that we should also have power over them, di ba? So, meron tayong mga situations, union, wage bargaining para sa mga workplaces. Sa gobyerno natin, we have such thing as voting so that we could create or recreate the government all over again, the kinds of people we want to be employed in the government as well as to run the government for us. These are certain powers that we have. Yung sa school lang, ngayon, wala kayong masyadong power, no? Okay, what sort of power do you have in school right now? May power ba kayo?
Wala.
Ayun, given this kind of idea, 'di ba, na may influence kayo sa ginagawa ng school, parang wala masyado. Pero 'di ba, may situations like we want to demand a sem break and so on. And then if you do that, then if you become successful, then obviously the school will also allow you to. So that is a kind of power over an institution. Yung sa China nga, yung ginawa nila kasi yung mga bata, I think these are grade schoolers, ayaw nila mag-online class. So yung ginawa nila, kasi yung teacher nila nagpapa-download ng isang app para mag-submit ng homework. Yung ginawa nila is binomb nila yung app. Nilagyan nila ng 1 or 0 stars. Hindi ko alam kung pwede mag-0 stars sa App Store. Pero yung ginawa nila, para ma-remove yung app sa App Store. So ayun, hindi nagamit yung app na iyon para makapag-submit or makapag-klase yung mga bata. Pero anyways, wala din silang power kasi yung nangyari is that ginamit na lang yung ibang app. Pero these are examples in which certain people could try to use or to find avenues in which to assert their power, diba? Makikita natin, siguro hindi dito sa Conpere, pero in other schools where the student council is very influential and they have an actual student council, have actually extended or have asked for extensions, right, for longer breaks or for academic breaks. And this is the case of universities like UP. I don't know if Ateneo has this, but usually at those levels, the student are better represented because they are given more power in that specific situation. And so these are the realms of politics. Pero 'di ba, alam natin or sinasabi natin na hindi lang yung latent or visible, pati yung mga hidden. Latent or hindi lang yung manifest pala at visible, pati yung mga latent at hidden. So for example, kapag nag-uusap kayo na, I'm so tired, ayoko na mag-aral, ganun. And then, eventually, nagkaroon ng maraming dropouts. You have a mass dropout or siguro mga 4 na tao and so on. That's already a political situation as well because it becomes a certain comment or a certain feedback to the school na, okay, ang raming nagda-drop out ngayon. What should we do? And so on. So that, and whatever decision that they make, there's already been a situation like that. Okay? So depende lang sa school kung ano yung decision na i-make nila. Magsususpend ba sila ng classes? Would they give grades to those people who went on academic break? Would they give extra assistance and so on? But that is already power over the school. Okay, so makikita natin, these situations replete talaga or andyan talaga yung power palagi. Okay, so again, okay. So punta tayo sa may formal na definition ng gets ba yung idea ng power and its relation to politics at first?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sige. Good. Shopee ka po. Okay na yung audio ngayon?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sige, if the audio is not fine, just tell me. And then if you have any comments, if you want to have additions to the topic or to the discussion, just unmute your mic. Ayan, because I really, really want to get your viewpoints regarding this particular subject. So, meron tayong maraming limitations kung ano yung dapat kinoconsider natin na political. May ibang tao, unlike us, right, that thinks that politics is everything. There are people that want to limit politics to the government lang. So this is one viewpoint, and this is actually beneficial. Lalo na kapag gusto nating may narrow lang na idea ng politics. Yung politics lang, andun lang sa gobyerno mismo. And then the rest are not included. So yung role lang ng mga tao kapag politics as government is mga taga-boto. 'Di ba? Taga-boto kapag election, and then spectators or manonood kapag hindi na election. Ayun. 'Di ba? Usually ganun sa mga hindi nagfo-function na democracy. Right? Sa mga nagfo-function na democracy, people have much more active types of citizenship. And usually sa Pilipinas, ganito yung gusto ng mga tao, 'di ba? Na okay, tapos na yung aking parang dad na okay, my job here is done. Nagboto na ako. And then bahala na. Nagawa ko na yung yung aking role as a citizen or yung aking responsibility as a citizen. That's my political activity for 6 years. Okay na yan. Yan, kapag presidente lang binoboto niya. But then there are people also that say that politics is limited lang to the interactions of governments and other sectors that the government recognizes. Siyempre, yung mga lehitimo na mga sektor na ginagamit or that collaborate with the government. So examples would be NGOs, churches, schools, people who consider themselves the citizens of the country, and so on. And then you also have a realm of politics in which lahat-lahat ng activities, kahit yung mga ayaw sa gobyerno, pati yung mga komunista, mga terorista, those that want the government to be replaced, right? Or to actually be erased. Kasi may mga ganang tao. These are still in the realm of politics. So, depende sa inyo or depende sa atin kung ano yung level of analysis natin. Pero for this class, di ba, for this particular class, lahat that has the idea of power is political for us. Even the very act of not eating or starving yourself could be considered political, right? Ayun. Or even the very act of cutting your hair could be considered political if it creates a statement meant to influence other people as well. So, sino dito yung may examples or may alam ng examples na may historical figures na ginagamit yung mga simpleng bagay para magsabi ng political statement so that it could raise awareness, it could influence the behaviors of other people towards a particular issue as well? Can somebody give an example about using a simple act as a political statement? Simon, do you know something about this?
Wala po, sorry.
Sige. Inaalala natin yung sino dito nanonood ng NBA ba yun? Yung mga sports, tapos nakikita sa US, tapos nakikita nila kung minsan yung mga players na nag-kneel down during the national anthem ng US. Are you familiar with that?
Opo.
Okay. Sino dito? Oo. Opo, ayun. Si Shai? Si Shai ba yun?
Hindi, sir. Hindi po.
Okay, hindi siya familiar. Ayun. Sige. So, sa K-pop na lang. For example, di ba dati nagkakaroon ng kontrobersiya, yung may mga tao na, or may mga K-pop artists na they unknowingly wear the symbol of the rising sun sa mga t-shirts nila or sa mga bags nila. Alam niyo ba yung mga kontrobersiya na ganun?
Yes po, sabi daw nila na ginagamit daw po yun for aesthetics. And may mga
Mm-mm.
religion na
Ayun.
na-offend po.
Mm. Ayun, kasi yung rising sun na symbol na yun, guys, yun yung flag ng Japan during World War II. And, di ba, yung flag ngayon ng Japan is just red circle and then white. Pero yun, nung particular time na iyon, when they were invading countries including Korea, China, and the Philippines, they had the particular flag of the rising sun. And it is used as a design kung minsan sa mga t-shirts and so on. And when the Korean public sees that a K-pop artist wears something like this, they get really outraged, right? It's the same thing as people saying, for example, yung N-word sa US, 'di ba? Kasi it's already a statement na ginagamit yung isang historical na trauma ng mga tao, and you remind the public of this particular situation, parang dinidisregard nila. Ayan. So that's an example of the power, right, of certain words or certain actions with regards to the public, kasi it influences the ideas and so on, right, of the public. Or even the simple act of not eating. For example, si Mahatma Gandhi, he's a person who used fasting as a way to make a political statement. Diba? And in the past, fasting was used as a political statement until na makuha yung gusto ng isang grupo with regards to policy, or yung kay Gandhi specifically, kapag hindi lalabas, 'di ba, yung mga British sa India, he's gonna fast. He's gonna starve himself and so on. And then he was successful, right? Hindi lang pag-fast pero pag-march din as well. So nagma-march siya sa iba't ibang mga lugar sa India. He's raising awareness and consciousness and so on regarding the injustices that were caused by the British colonial rule in India. And then through that particular action, he actually influenced the behavior as well of a really, really big empire, right? Or even the act of writing. Yeah. So all of these could be considered political acts if they are meant to influence certain people to do certain behaviors or to have certain beliefs or attitudes with regards to certain issues. Yeah. So all of this could be considered political. Ayan, makikita natin yung idea natin ng political. Ayan, bakit pumangit yung umiiba din. Sorry for the bad text. I don't know what, ayan, okay, sige. I think this is better. Okay, so the scope of the political is differentiated, depende sa history natin. So for example, in the past, 'di ba, nakikita natin yung babae, andyan lang sa bahay, wala silang property rights, wala silang equal rights compared to their husbands, wala silang sariling inheritance rights, they cannot vote and so on. Pero normal lang sa kanila 'yon. Pribado 'yun eh. 'Di ba? Parang accessory sila ng lalaki and they're only meant to do housework, to raise children. That is their given role or natural role. Dati yan, di ba? That is the perception in the past. And this was not politicized at all. This was considered as normal. Like the other things, like slavery, for example, was considered normal. But then what happened was, little by little, women and even men started looking at the unfairness of the situations. Yun nga yung sinabi ni Simon kanina, the givens. What we do not question, what we just take for granted. These things become politicized. These things become discussed. Hindi discussed. Discussed. These things become something that should be questioned, right? And then eventually it was questioned. There were books that were created, discussions among women, and then they went to the streets. And then the ideas spread, the movement spread, not only in one country, but to several countries until it became worldwide, to the point that this was acknowledged by the government. Dati sa bahay lang, konti-konti lang mga tao nagdi-discuss. We had few women who started trying to demand for the rights. Eventually, it became a mass of women. So na-publicized, na-politicized. Pero these are just movements. They did not have as much influence, right, on the policy. But then, eventually, they started to become so big and to have a lot of support to the point that they were accepted or taken seriously by the governments that they are in. And right now, it is a given. Nagiging given na. It is a norm. It should be a policy of every country that women's rights should be equal to men's rights. So nakikita natin may mga protections na ngayon para sa babae, the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. This is a UN convention which is guaranteed in all UN countries. And all of the countries are working and making sure that all of the articles here are also kept track of or monitored. So nakikita natin, di ba, yung political umiiba throughout history. Mga bagay na hindi kine-question, eventually kine-question. And then nagiging polisiya. So there is the process. Pero kasi yung political, personal, dapat i-publicize yan para magkaroon talaga ng apekto sa buong lipunan, di ba? Pero hindi ibig sabihin na kapag personal lang ngayon, hindi na siya pwedeng maging political na situation. Kagaya neto. Eventually, it could become political. Ano ngayon yung mga topics kung saan sa tingin nyo maging political siya in the future? Actually, naging political na siya ngayon. Sino dito may pets? May mga dogs or cats? Kian, may pet ka ba, Kian? Laika, do you have a pet?
Yes po.
Ano yung pet mo, Likes?
Aso po.
Oo. Ayan. So may mga tao ngayon, for example, na they are trying to expand the rights of animals para mas maprotektuhan yung mga hayop na mabigyan sila ng mga rights guaranteed by the state or by law. Yan. So makikita natin in the future this could really happen. Dati 'di ba parang okay, personal lang kung ano yung pag-aalaga mo sa hayop yun lang. Pero in the future, kapag grabe yung sakop ng political rights para sa animals, you could become jailed siguro if you are accused of abuse of animals, right? Because it becomes a matter of the state. Or for example, yung diet natin, 'di ba? Ngayon, yung mga vegetarians, they're trying to appeal that not only is eating meat something that is unhealthy compared to eating a lot of vegetables, it is also immoral, right? Because animals also feel pain. Maybe in the future, we would come to a point wherein, baka i-ban na yung pagkain ng meat and so on, or hindi naman i-ban, pero mas restricted na, diba, yung pagkain ng meat. And it would become a policy. So, hindi natin alam. These are things that could become political in the future, right? This could be discussed in the realm of the government as well. Yan, so pwede natin yung makita. So, eto, makikita natin, yung isang definition nito is politics as arena, diba? Yung politics as arena, guys, this is politics on the level of government lang. So, paggawa ng mga polisiya, and so on. And then, yung kapag kalahatan, yung pag-convert ng personal na issues into a political issues, this would comprise politics as process already. The process of creating or making a personal issue and framing it as not a personal issue lang, but as an issue of all, and then eventually creating or putting it as an input to influence policy so that it becomes something that would influence the behavior of all people. That is part of politics as process, right? Yung arena, 'di ba, ibig sabihin yan is stage. So, eto very limited. Sa gobyerno lang, kung ano yung polisiya na pinapalabas ng gobyerno, pero dapat tinitingnan natin yung politics as pangkalahatan, isang proseso. Diba? Ayun. So, eto yung politics as arena. Politics is limited to the government lang. We create the government and the government does politics for us. You also have citizens as watchers or observers of the political arena. And then sa arena na iyon, competition, cooperation and conflict in the creation of laws and policies in the government happens. So in the picture here, this is President Duterte signing, I forgot the law. Universal Healthcare Law pala, with the proponents, yung mga nag-start na gumawa ng batas ng Universal Healthcare Law. Yan. And ngayon, meron na tayong Universal Healthcare Law, but in the past, again, stage lang to. Di ba sa stage kasi, kapag sinasabi nating stage, yung talagang Yung talaga importante sa stage is kung ano nangyayari sa likod or kung ano yung nangyari before pa pumunta ka sa stage. Tama? Do you agree with that? Nag-agree ba kayo na yung pinaka-importante na mga bagay ay hindi lang yung sa stage, yung nakikita ng performance, pero yung sa likod or sa before pa nagkaroon ng performance sa stage?
Yes, sure.
In the level, yes, 'di ba? So the practice, yung decision making that happens, kung sino yung magiging si Hamlet, kung sino yung si maging Macbeth, kung ano yung props and so on. All of those decisions could be considered political decisions. And yung nakikita lang yung ng audience is the surface level, 'di ba? Maganda sana kapag ganito. Sino naman yung gusto, 'di ba, mag-engage in decision making. Lahat-lahat ng decision, alam mo, that's very tiring. It would be good na hanggang ano lang tayo, hanggang audience lang tayo. Kasi 'di ba, ang sarap ng feeling manonood ka lang. Tapos andyan na, ay wow, maaaliw ako, mag-cheer lang ako, suporta lang ako. I'm just gonna look at these people. They have made it for us. I don't need to contribute anymore. Just need to enjoy. And this is a good feeling. And this is what we expect a lot of the time. Again, but the amount of work that goes into sa likod, some of these things might be of particular interest to us. Ayun. Might be something that we have disagreed with. Hindi lang natin alam. Hindi natin alam yung proseso. Pero kapag malaman natin yung proseso, magagalit tayo or probably, bakit ganun yung decision nila? 'Di ba? So, ayun. For example, 'di ba, may arena. Tapos, eventually, people would question. Kapag sa arena na yan, sa stage na yan, dinutuloy natin yung metapora, bakit palaging strength and agility games lang? Sabihin natin yung Olympics to. Bakit puro poor yung mga gladiators na nilalagay? Bakit mga lalaki lang? Bakit walang babae? Pwede pa bang mapaganda yung upuan, di ba? Once you look at the components of this particular arena, makikita natin that some things could be improved, right? Or kailangan ba talaga to? Ganun din yung question sa mga tao sa politika. There's always gonna be discussion. There's always gonna be dialogue. There's always gonna be questioning about what happens backstage. And this is normal, right? And actually, we should be thankful about kahit magulo sila sa social media, I'm a bit silent, pero it's because I'm pagod. But if I wasn't pagod at all, I would be one of those people who would go there and discuss and so on. Ayun. Pero kinakailangan natin to kasi we need to know what happens backstage, right? Even if we do not particularly care, there are people who are trying to change politics, society, and so on. And these are the people that we should support. Kahit on that level lang tayo, di ba? What we believe in, we should follow that as well. Yan. So, all of this include power, distribution, decision-making, and losses and gains. Diba? Lahat ng eto. Hindi lang, again, hindi siya arena lang talaga, pero politics is always a process, right? Arena, surface level lang, pero sa likod, andyan yung proseso kung paano mag-decide, kung sino yung nalulose, kung sino yung umiiyak kapag backstage, kung sino yung nagre-resent sa iba, kung sino yung gustong mag-revenge, ganon. May mga ganong klase. So, parang ganun lang. Theater yung sa stage, theater din yung politics. Theater talaga yung politics, guys. And so, 2 levels tayo. We have governing as well. Kapag politics as process, let's just, move until 210 lang. I'm just gonna get 6 minutes of your time. And governance. So, governing is the first level. Politics including the government and institutions legitimized by the government. Yung tinitingnan as, okay ka sa akin. Vibes tayo. Ayun. So, I will involve you in the political process. May consultations, there's distribution of resources. So, for example, Save the Children, right? The government corresponds or works with the Save the Children, UNICEF as well. They work with UNICEF because, again, these institutions are thought of as legitimate, has the same goals of the government, and helps, diba, with the same sectors like the government does. Kasali sila, diba, of the process. And then you also have yung governing. Dito na i-include yung mga bagay na the government finds a bit threatening. So eto yung mga tao na are sometimes, diba, they are the ones that are legitimized, yung lehitimo, but it also includes the ones that are considered illegitimate. yung hindi nire-recognize ng government as an actual institution, and the types of groups that challenge the government. So, for example, in the Philippines, this would be your New People's Army, this would be your MILF, this would be your ISIS, so on. And syempre, I'm more sympathetic to some of these groups because of the ideologies that they hold. But again, obviously, a lot of them are threatening to the government, right? No matter what your political views are, yung NPA talagang role nila is, or gusto nilang gawin is revolutionary government. They want to take control of the government so that they could institute a government that is more in line with the goals that they have. It's the same with ISIS as well, right? Or it's the same with the Katipuneros, right? They wanted to take control of the Spanish colonial government so that they could institute a government that is in line with what they think is correct. Yan. Pero again, tinatreaten nila yung government. So eto yan, yung COVID vaccines natin, these are just examples. Eto, di ba, nagpalabas na tayo ng mga vaccines, the first batch, and it's not actually vaccines that we purchased. These are the nations from China, 600,000 vaccines, Sinovac. Ayan, so government lang, legal na procurement ng government kasi yung gobyerno yung kumuha or gumawa ng proseso. Governing, this is the situation wherein legitimate institutions become allied with the government already. Right? So for example, yung Philippine government hospital, and then you also have the healthcare workers who started accepting the vaccinations, diba? And cooperating with the government. And then you also have yung governance. Eto na yung mga tao na medyo critical, right, of this vaccine issue. So for example, si Twitter user Jarwen Freelumad26 smuggled and justified are opposite words. Why smuggle vaccines if they're legal? How could you justify something that's illegal? Yung this is a reaction kasi to the issue before. I don't know if you have heard of this, but even before the vaccinations were procured by the government, before tayo bumili, may mga nagpa-vaccinate na kaagad. Alam ba natin yung issue na to? Na may mga nagpa-vaccinate sa government even before the vaccines were rolled out. Oo, sino yun? Yung mga taong ngayon. Oo. Anyways, ayan, 'di ba? It was a controversial issue. There were people from the security detail of the president, as well as famous people like yung Tulfo brothers and so on, na nagpa-vaccinate sila illegally. In the sense na sminagal yung mga vaccines galing China, kumuha sila sa mga friends nila, tapos nagpa-vaccinate sila against sa COVID-19. So that's an illegal act. Right? That's an illegal act. Dapat i-punish yan kasi illegal siya. But because they are in positions of power, then they are pardoned or it's not a big deal. And this is a bit, sorry lalabas yung political views ko. Pero I don't know if you agree with me, but this is a bit concerning since there are people, yung mga mahihirap na mga tao, like for example sa Baguio, na nagdadala sila ng mga vegetables sa palengke, tapos andyan na, meron na silang mask, may face shield na sila, pero hindi sila inaalaw. Kasi nga, masikip yung palengke, hindi daw sila nagpa-follow sa protocol, and so on. When makikita natin that on the higher levels of the government, this isn't applicable. You have Kiko Pimentel, who visited his wife, diba, at the mga first months of the COVID-19. Pero hindi sila napapunish, right? Or the Bolsinas, who celebrated his birthday and violated quarantine rules. Hindi sila napapunish, right? It's just a fact. No matter what my personal opinion is about the government, and I'm very critical of the government right now, pero no matter what, andyan yung facts eh. 'Di ba? Hindi napapunish yung mga higher level na officials. No matter what our political views, kahit pro-Duterte tayo or anti-Duterte tayo or we're in the middle or whatever, nakikita natin, higher officials that are close to the top are not punished. There is an unfair punishment, right, with regards to law or the quarantine rules and procedures. Okay. Simon.
Yes po.
Were you gonna add something?
Agree po ako dun sa political view nyo po. Especially kapag dating po sa mga journalist, kapares ko po na gusto maging journalist someday, na kapag
Mm-mm.
nagbibigay ng critic about sa government, very threatening na po sa part ng mga journalist na katulad ko po, gusto ko rin na
Mm-mm.
o nagsasabi din ng mga point of views tungkol sa government na very nakakatakot kasi
Mm-mm.
it's between life and death talaga po. As
Mm-mm.
in,
Ayun. Ayun, yun nga. I'm so sad. I'm really really happy that yeah, I'm very emotional right now. Hindi ko na-expect na somebody here wants to be a journalist, and ayun. Wow. Uh, I'm so glad that you're brave enough to admit even that admission na you want to be a journalist is already scary for a lot of people kasi alam natin yung nangyayari sa mga journalists ngayon eh. At hindi yun. Actually, compared kay Gloria, mas konti yung mga journalist na pinapatay ngayon. Sorry, pinapatay. Pero the amount of threatening that happens to journalists online is so great. So, hindi ka naman pinapatay, pero grabe yung threat sa'yo sa social media. And hindi lang or lawyer na yung may lawyer, you could that try to know about human being or just find isang system na that are scared of these things. So I'm really glad that one of you here, and siguro yung iba pwede pa mag-share later on kung ano yung gusto nila, is brave enough to admit that they want to be a journalist. And I would really support that type of job in the future. And I hope that it becomes more friendly to you, 'di ba? Yung ating political system, because we need you guys, right? The journalists, we need them. Yeah, yun. Ngayon, kapag if you sinusubaybayan niyo yung journalist sa Rappler, for example, si Pia Ranada, or sa GMA si Joseph Morong, palagi silang binabara. Kung minsan
pati rin po
kina-cut off
si
sila ng
Maria Ressa.
president.
Si Harry
Si
Roque
Maria
din.
Ressa din. Oo, kina-cut off sila palagi. So for example, last time si Pia Renada was trying to ask a question, and then si Harry Roque and the Presidential Communications Group, sabi nila, hindi kita naririnig, ganun-ganon. Pero, ayun nga, naririnig sila. Sabi ni Pia sa huli, sabi niya, I'm just saying na, why is it every time I ask a question, I always get there is always a problem with regards to, or there's always a technical issue, and it doesn't happen to any other journalist. Or for example, si Maria Ressa na ilang libel case na yung final sa kanya. 'Di ba? So, hindi ka nga mamamatay ngayon masyado kasi mas konti actually yung journalist deaths ngayon. Mas marami yung mga activist na deaths, lalo na kapag environmental activist ka. They go against really big corporations kasi mga mining corporations, mga agricultural corporations. Ayun, mas marami yung ganun ngayon. Pero yung mga journalists, yung nangyayari sa kanila is they are being silenced legally, right? Like for example, Maria Ressa with her libel cases, or through social media, diba? Or through just the power of what or yung behaviors of the government itself, right? Yung simpleng pagbara na iyan, it's already a power play, right? Alam naman natin yan sa diba? Sa personal na relationships natin sa mga tao, kapag binabara tayo, that's already as saying na, you're not, I don't want to engage with you. I'm more powerful than you, and so on. So, all of these things. Okay, so thank you for that. We're gonna discuss this last two slides on Thursday. But before that, I just want to remind you na yung ating mga activities kailangan natin mag-give ng comments regarding sa power. Medyo mahirap na activities yun. And at first, you might not know what I'm asking you to do. Pero from the discussion of your classmates and from the discussion that we will do on Thursday, I think we will come into some ideas that would make sense for a lot of us. Just do your work. And if you feel unsure about it, you're meant to feel unsure about it. Kasi yung power as a concept, it's something that is, it's something that is very complex. Ayan, sige. So, we'll end here. Thank you so much for participating. And I hope the rest also participate on Thursday. Goodbye, grade 11, and hope you have a good day.
Hi, Chair.
Bye
Thank
po.
you,
Thank
Chair.
you.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you then.